All right, guys, we're moving right along here. Um, Now we're going to just do a quick little color sort activity. I have some crayons that I'm going to give you to use, and you're going to have two colors, yellow and blue. Yellow and blue. So our rational, actually, I'm sorry, I lied. We're going to use orange and blue. Orange for rational and blue for irrational. And I'm going to give you the orange and the blue. Now, I'm just going to go over the directions on this with you, and then I'm going to go over the directions on the next activity with you, because you're going to have these to do. You should be able to get this one finished and given to me pretty quickly, like today. The other one you probably are going to have to do over the course of a couple of days, and we'll set a due date for it. On this one, you're going to go through and show, it says color each box to show whether it's rational or irrational. What I want you to do first is I want you to go through and label each box with an I or an R. I for irrational, R for rational, okay? So I want you to label each box with an I or an R. So we'll do a couple together. I'm going to do just one. So I see this dot, dot, dot right here. And I know that if I have the dot, 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 I have an irrational number. So I'm going to put an I there. I see this line right here. This is a repeating decimal. Repeating. The R for repeating. So R for rational. R for repeating, R for rational. So the first thing you're going to do is go through and label all of these I and R. After you've labeled them I and R, then you're going to go back and shade them orange and green, okay? And when you do that, be sure to put your name on your paper, and you're going to turn that in to me. After you have done that, you're going to do this real numbers learning task. Well, actually, after you've done that, you're going to do this mixed practice, real numbers mixed practice. So you're going to just take this. It says tell whether the following numbers are rational or irrational by placing them on the tree map. So you're going to just take these numbers and sort them down here into rational and irrational. Change the following fraction into decimals, round to the nearest tenth. Well, some of these we don't have to change because we know that 3/4 is 0.75, okay? But I'm going to do one of these with you, and then you will finish them. But to change 7/8, now I'll go ahead and say this too. Sometimes typing fractions and putting them on a handout, we use this diagonal fraction bar. We are not going to use a diagonal fraction bar in this room ever. 7/8 will always be written like that when we write it. But this is 7 divided by 8. 7 divided by 8 means that I'm going to have 8 here and 7 here. And I'm going to go ahead and it says round to the nearest tenth, which means I'm going to round it to the first place past the decimal, but I need to go 2 places past because I've got to have a number to use to round with. So 8 won't go into 7. 8 will go into 70. 8 times 8 is 64. Bring down that 0. 8 will go into 45 times. So that gives me a remainder of 0. So 0.85. I'm going to erase this and come right here and put 0.85. And this is a terminating decimal. It is a terminating decimal because it gave me a remainder of 0. Okay? So you're going to do that for all of these, and I want you to also label them as terminating or repeating, okay? You just put a T or an R. So make sure you label with a T or an R for terminating and repeating decimals. Okay, so you're just identifying those. But if you know the decimal form of any of these, you don't have to do the division. All right, and you've got your fraction equivalence paper that I told you that I was going to give you this week, and it's right here. So you're also going to be doing that, and I'm going to put this into Google Classroom for you just to copy the answers from. So that will be there for you to do today too. All right, so you are doing this and then turning it into me. And then when you finish that, you have your real numbers task that I'm going to give you the directions to in the next video.